Here's a question worth sitting with. You wash the sheets, you use detergent, you add a scent booster because the box promises deep, clean freshness. The sheets come out smelling like lavender. 2 hours later, after they warm up on the bed, the urine smell is back. This isn't a washing machine problem. It isn't a detergent problem. It's a chemistry problem. And a $3 box of powder that's been on hardware store shelves for over a century solves it in a single soak. The fragrance industry would prefer you didn't know that. Here's what's actually happening in your fabric and why. The powder is washing soda, not baking soda. That's a different compound and a common source of confusion. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, mildly alkaline, pH around 8. Washing soda is sodium carbonate, significantly more alkaline, pH around 11. That difference is not a detail. It's the entire mechanism. Here's what's actually happening when fabric smells of urine after washing. Urine contains uric acid, ammonia compounds, and urea. When urine dries into fabric, those compounds don't evaporate. They bond chemically into the fiber structure, particularly into cotton and synthetic blends, which is most of what sheets, underwear, and towels are made of. Detergent is formulated to lift surface soil and oils. It was not designed to break the specific chemical bonds that uric acid forms with textile fibers, so the detergent removes what it can reach. The fragrance in the detergent sits on top of what it cannot, and the result smells clean until the fabric warms up. Then the uric acid compounds release again, and the smell returns. This is not a failure of effort. It is a failure of chemistry. Washing soda works differently. At pH 11, it is alkaline enough to break down uric acid salts and ammonia compounds at the molecular level. It doesn't sit on top of the odor. It reacts with the compounds causing it, converts them into water-soluble forms, and releases them from the fiber so the wash cycle can carry them away. What leaves the drum is not fabric that smells like something else. It is fabric from which the odor source has been removed. To your nose and to your hands, this distinction is invisible. Both a scent booster and washing soda can produce sheets that smell neutral when they come out of the dryer. The difference shows up 2 hours later on a warm bed when the masking agent fades and the bonded compounds underneath are still there, or aren't. The list of what washing soda handles through this same mechanism is longer than most people expect. Bed sheets and pillowcases with accumulated nighttime sweat and incontinence traces. Underwear where detergent alone has never fully resolved the ammonia smell. Towels that smell fine until wet and then don't. Mattress covers, which hold urine compounds deep in their quilted layers where surface washing barely reaches. Pet bedding, dog beds, washable kennel liners, cat blankets, where urine odor concentration is higher and more persistent than most laundry detergents are formulated to address. Cloth diapers, where generations of parents discovered washing soda before the current fragrance era buried the knowledge. The pre-soak is where the work actually happens. The wash cycle is maintenance. Dissolve half a cup of washing soda in a basin or bathtub of hot water. Hot water accelerates the chemical reaction. Then submerge the fabric and let it soak for a minimum of 1 hour. For heavily affected items, 2 to 4 hours is more effective. For mattress covers or pet bedding with embedded odor, an overnight soak produces the most reliable result. After soaking, wring the item and transfer it directly to the washing machine. Add another 1/4 cup of washing soda to the drum along with your regular detergent. Run a normal cycle. Do not add fabric softener to this wash. Softener coats fibers with a conditioning layer that can partially seal odor compounds. Back in rather than releasing them. As a standalone laundry booster without a pre-soak, add half a cup directly to the drum at the start of a hot or warm cycle. This is less effective than the pre-soak method for severe cases, but for maintenance washing of regularly affected items, it is sufficient and adds nothing to the time cost of a normal load. One honest limitation belongs here, and it matters. Washing soda outperforms enzyme cleaners on aged, dried, and repeatedly washed urine odor in fabric, the cases where the compounds have fully bonded and set. But for fresh pet urine on carpet, upholstery, or mattress surfaces that cannot be submerged, enzyme cleaners still perform better. Enzyme cleaners work by introducing biological catalysts that digest uric acid and protein compounds before they fully bond. On a fresh stain, that biological digestion is faster and more targeted than the alkaline reaction. On a stain that has dried, been heated, and been washed multiple times, the proteins have already denatured and the enzyme approach loses much of its advantage. Use enzyme cleaners on fresh surface stains. Use washing soda on fabric that goes into a machine. Now here's the question the laundry aisle doesn't want you to ask. If washing soda removes urine odor at the molecular level, costs $3 a box, and has been available in hardware stores and farm supply chains for over 100 years, why does the average household spend between $80 and $150 a year on fabric softeners, dryer sheets, and scent boosters? Why does every major detergent brand now sell a premium odor eliminator line at 2 to 3 times the price of their standard product, when the mechanism those products use is still primarily fragrance masking with a modest enzyme addition? Why is the laundry aisle 40 feet of scent, marketing, and the washing soda, when it's there at all, in a small box near the floor? You already know the answer. A $3 box of washing soda that permanently solves the odor problem. A customer spending $100 a year to manage is not a business model. It's a business ending. Fabric softener carries gross margins estimated between 60 and 70% in consumer goods analysis. Scent boosters, those small tubs of fragrance beads that dissolve in the wash, are among the highest margin SKUs in the entire household products category. Functional powder that removes the source of the odor requires no repurchase on a schedule and costs $3 for enough to treat 30 to 40 loads does not generate that margin. So it doesn't get the shelf space, it doesn't get the advertising, it gets buried under 40 years of softness marketing and the cultivated habit of associating clean with a specific manufactured fragrance. The habit formation piece is worth naming directly. Fragrance in laundry products isn't incidental, it's engineered. Scent is processed in the limbic system, the part of the brain that handles emotion and memory. A fabric that smells like a specific detergent brand triggers an association with cleanliness that is entirely independent of whether the fabric is actually clean. This isn't accidental product design. It is the mechanism by which a masking product sustains itself against a functional alternative. What not to use washing soda on belongs here. Briefly, wool and silk are protein-based fibers. High-alkalinity solutions break down protein structures. The same mechanism that dissolves uric acid compounds also degrades the fiber itself over repeated exposure. Anything with a care label that says hand wash cold or dry clean only should not go into a washing soda soak. Cotton, polyester, nylon, and most synthetic blends handle it without issue. If uncertain, test a small area of a seam allowance after a short soak and check for texture change before committing the full item. One safety note, kept proportionate. Washing soda is an irritant in concentrated form. If you are soaking a large load in a basin and mixing by hand, gloves are a reasonable precaution for prolonged skin contact. In the diluted concentrations of a washing machine cycle, it presents no meaningful dermal hazard. It has no vapor risk. It is not a respiratory concern at laundry quantities. The precaution level is the same as handling any cleaning concentrate. Reasonable care, not alarm. Sodium carbonate has been in documented use for longer than most people consider. Ancient Egyptians used a naturally occurring form called natron, a sodium carbonate and bicarbonate mineral deposit found around dry lake beds, for preservation, cleaning, and ritual preparation. It was mined commercially in the 19th century and sold under the name washing soda as a standard laundry aid before synthetic detergents existed. Washing soda didn't stop working. It stopped being sold to you. If this gave you something useful today, share it with someone who has been re-washing the same sheets for months and assuming the problem is their machine. They deserve to know there is a $3 box that solves it in one soak. Knowledge like this doesn't disappear on its own. It gets buried under better margins and brighter packaging. This channel digs it back up. Subscribe if that matters to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.